All right, get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into, the story of Moses and the Ten Commandments.
Sounds epic.
It is, but here's the twist. We're not looking at, some ancient text or like a scholarly analysis. No, we're going straight to the source, a children's animated Bible story on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay, a kid-friendly version. You wouldn't think that'd be very deep.
Right. But trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
We're going to break down this animated story and see what kind of insights we can uncover.
Yeah.
And just to set the scene, we're talking Mount Sinai. The Israelites have just escaped Egypt. They're at the foot of this massive mountain. It's a pretty intense visual.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely feel the weight of the moment. This is where things change for them. They're not just escaped slaves anymore. God's got big plans for them.
Big plans is an understatement. God lays it out for Moses. He says the Israelites will be his treasured possession, a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation.
Wow. Kingdom of priests, holy nation. Those are some loaded terms.
They really are. What do you make of that, this whole concept of the Israelites being a chosen people?
Well, it's definitely central to their identity and purpose, but it's also been a source of debate and controversy throughout history. Some interpretations have been used to justify all sorts of things.
Right. It raises questions about exclusivity, responsibility, and even the nature of God's relationship with humanity.
Yeah.
Like who gets to be chosen and what does that even mean?
Exactly. It's a concept with a lot of baggage.
Okay, so we've got the Israelites poised to become God's chosen people. And then things get really dramatic, like Hollywood-level dramatic. Picture this, thunder, lightning, a dense cloud covering the mountain.
Oh, I know this part. It's like a special effects extravaganza.
Exactly. And there's this blaring trumpet sound that literally makes everyone tremble. It's like God's putting on a show to really drive home the point.
Yeah, it's all about conveying the power and awe of the divine. You see this kind of sensory overload in religious experiences across cultures. It's meant to be both terrifying and exhilarating. A reminder that you're dealing with something way beyond human comprehension.
It definitely gets the message across. Because the Israelites are so freaked out, they actually beg Moses to act as a go-between. They're like, nope, you talk to God, Moses. We'll just listen from over here, safely out of earshot.
It's a very human reaction, right?
Right.
When faced with something vast and powerful, we often try to create some distance. We build structures, we develop rituals, we even create intermediaries like Moses. It's like we're trying to manage the sheer intensity of experiencing the divine directly.
It's like we need a buffer.
Exactly. We need a way to process and make sense of the experience without being completely overwhelmed.
So Moses heads up the mountain, all alone, into this whirlwind of divine power.
And he comes back with, the 10 Commandments, of course. Even in this kid-friendly version, they're presented as the bedrock of a just and moral society.
And it's interesting how those commandments have resonated through time. Like, take the commandment to keep the Sabbath holy. It's not just about taking a day off. It's about recognizing something bigger than ourselves, stepping outside the daily grind to connect with something more spiritual.
Right. It's about setting aside time for reflection, for contemplation, for connecting with your community and with the divine. Or how about the commandment about honoring your parents? That gets to the heart of family relationships and societal structures across cultures.
It's crazy how much those ideas from thousands of years ago still shape our world. But the story also shows how tough it can be to actually live by those principles.
Oh, absolutely. It's one thing to agree to a set of rules. It's another to actually put them into practice in your daily life, especially when you're faced with temptation or doubt.
And the story doesn't shy away from that. Like when Moses is up on the mountain getting those divine instructions, things aren't so harmonious down below. The Israelites start getting restless. They start doubting maybe Moses is gone for good. They need something more concrete to focus their faith on, something tangible.
And that's when they make, the golden calf.
The infamous golden calf is like the ultimate symbol of straying from the path, giving into temptation.
It's such a human moment, isn't it? They've witnessed all these miracles, the plagues, the Red Sea parting, manna from heaven. And yet, the minute their leader is out of sight, they falter. It really makes you think about the psychology of belief and the need for tangible symbols, especially in times of uncertainty.
It's like they needed something to see, to touch, to reassure themselves that they weren't alone.
Exactly. It speaks to the human need for security and visible reassurance, that even when we've seen incredible things, doubt can still creep in.
And let's be honest, haven't we all created our own golden calves at times? Those things we latch onto when we're feeling lost or afraid. even if they go against what we know to be right.
All the time. It's that constant tension between our desires and our beliefs, what we want versus what we think we should do. That tension is at the heart of so many ethical and spiritual dilemmas.
So Moses comes down the mountain, sees this golden calf party going on.
Yeah.
And, well, let's just say he's not thrilled.
Yeah, he does not look happy.
He's furious. He smashes those stone tablets he just got from God. Then he confronts Aaron, the guy who made the calf, and really lays into the people. It's an intense scene.
His reaction is understandable, though, right? I mean, he's been communing with God, receiving these divine laws, and then he comes down to find his people worshiping a golden idol. Talk about a reality check.
It's a major letdown, and it raises questions about leadership trust and how to respond when your followers stray so dramatically from the path.
For sure. It makes you think, what would you do in that situation? How do you balance anger and disappointment with the need to guide and shepherd your people?
Tough questions. But even though Moses is angry, he does something really remarkable. He pleads with God to forgive the Israelites. He even offers to be erased from God's book if it means they'll be spared.
That's powerful. It's a true act of self-sacrifice, putting the needs of his people above his own, even when they've messed up big time.
It shows the depth of his compassion. And it also says something about the nature of forgiveness itself. Is it earned? Is it freely given? This episode really opens up those questions.
Definitely. It makes you think about our own capacity for forgiveness, both in terms of offering it and receiving it.
And speaking of revelations, there's this one little detail that pops up in the children's story that I found fascinating. After being in God's presence for so long, Moses' face starts glowing. But here's the kicker, he doesn't even realize it.
The glowing face, that's a classic. It's often depicted in art and literature, but it's easy to overlook the significance of it.
Yeah.
We'll definitely need to unpack that further.
Absolutely. Because that glowing face is just one of the many surprising layers we're uncovering in this seemingly simple children's story. There's so much more to explore. Stay with us as we keep digging deeper. Okay, so we've journeyed through plagues and parted seas. We've seen the drama unfold at Mount Sinai. It's amazing how much this children's version of the Moses story gets you thinking right.
It really does. We've talked about the big themes, obedience, the idea of a chosen people, the overwhelming nature of encountering the divine.
Right. But I noticed something kind of interesting in this animated story. Something I hadn't really thought about before.
Oh, what's up?
Well, it's about the tablets for the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
The actual stone tablets.
Okay.
They didn't just magically appear. The Israelites actually had to make them. Like they had to physically carve out the stone.
You're right. I never really considered that before. It wasn't just God handing Moses a ready-made set of rules.
Exactly. The Israelites had a role to play in the process. It wasn't just passive reception. They had to put in the work.
That adds another layer to the whole idea of a covenant, doesn't it? This agreement between God and his people. It wasn't just a one-way decree. It required participation on the part of the Israelites.
Participation and effort. They had to literally shape those tablets with their own hands.
That's a powerful image. It suggests a kind of partnership, a collaboration between the divine and the human.
And speaking of collaboration, let's dive into those 10 Commandments themselves.
Yeah.
Even in this simplified animated story, it's clear they're not just a random set of rules.
Oh, definitely not. They're meant to be the foundation for a just and moral society principles to live by.
And it's fascinating how those ancient principles are still relevant today. Like, take the commandment against stealing. It's pretty basic, but it's essential for any functioning society.
Absolutely. It's about respecting property, respecting boundaries. Or how about the commandment against bearing false witness? Think about how crucial truth and honesty are in our legal systems, in our personal relationships.
Even online, with all the misinformation flying around.
Exactly. These ideas from thousands of years ago are still shaping our world, guiding our behavior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. But the story also shows how tough it can be to actually live by those principles. We see that over and over again.
Human nature being what it is, it's easy to agree to a set of rules, but putting them into practice day in and day out, that's the real challenge.
And the golden calf incident is a prime example of that. The Israelites straying from the path, giving into temptation.
It's such a relatable moment, isn't it? It's easy to stay on course when things are going well, but when fear and uncertainty creep in.
Like when the Israelites were waiting for Moses, not knowing what had become of him.
Exactly. That's when our commitment gets tested. Our faith is put to the test.
It's not just the golden calf. Right. Throughout the story, the Israelites are constantly questioning, doubting, demanding proof from God.
They're not exactly a model of unwavering faith, are they? Even after witnessing all those miracles.
Like they even say at one point, If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted, but you have brought us out into this desert to starve this entire assembly to death.
Wow, talk about ungrateful. But it's also very human, right? To question, to doubt, to struggle with belief.
It makes you think about the nature of faith itself. Is it blind obedience? Or is it something more complex, something that involves wrestling with doubts and uncertainties?
It's definitely a journey, not a destination. And this story shows us the ups and downs of that journey.
And through it all, despite their grumbling and their mistakes, God doesn't give up on them.
It's a recurring theme, isn't it? This idea of divine patience, of unwavering love and forgiveness.
It's like no matter how many times they mess up, God is always there, ready to offer a second chance.
Which speaks volumes about the power of forgiveness, doesn't it? This idea that we're not defined by our failings, that even in our moments of weakness, we can still find redemption.
And it's a message that goes beyond any one religion or belief system. It's a universal human truth.
Absolutely. We all make mistakes. We all stumble. And knowing that forgiveness is possible, that's what gives us hope. That's what allows us to move forward.
And that forgiveness is often embodied in Moses' role as a mediator. He's constantly pleading with God on behalf of the people, even offering to sacrifice himself for their sake.
It's an incredible act of selflessness, putting the needs of others before his own. It's the ultimate expression of leadership.
It really makes you think, what makes a good leader?
Yeah.
Is it about strength and authority? Or is it about compassion and empathy? About being willing to stand up for those you lead, even when they make mistakes?
It's a question worth pondering, isn't it? And it's not just about biblical figures. Think about leaders throughout history. In politics, in social movements, even in our own communities, what qualities make them truly great?
Is it charisma? Intelligence? Or is it something more intangible, something like integrity or a deep sense of justice?
It's a complex question with no easy answers, but it's a question that this story, this children's Bible story, invites us to consider.
It's amazing how much depth there is to unpack here. You wouldn't think a simple animated story would spark such profound questions.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling, I think. Even in its most basic form, a good story can tap into universal truths about the human experience.
It can make us think, make us feel, make us question our assumptions.
And that's what makes this deep dive so rewarding. We're not just rehashing a familiar story, we're discovering new layers of meaning, new insights that resonate with our own lives.
Speaking of new insights, we have to circle back to that glowing face of Moses. It's such a striking detail, and I'm really curious to hear your take on it.
The glowing face.
Yeah.
Yes, we can't leave that hanging. It's not just a random visual, it's a symbolic representation of something much deeper, something profound.
So what does it mean? What's the message behind the glow?
Well, on one level, it's a physical manifestation of Moses' encounter with the divine. He's spent 40 days and nights in God's presence, receiving these profound laws and instructions. That experience has left a mark, literally.
So it's like a visible sign of the knowledge and understanding he's gained.
Exactly. It's about being illuminated, both figuratively and literally. But it goes beyond just acquiring knowledge. It suggests that encountering the divine can transform us on a deeper level, affecting not just our minds, but our very being.
Okay, so that glowing face. It's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Moses, right?
Definitely not. It's usually the parting of the Red Sea or the Ten Commandments themselves.
Right. Those are the big ones. But when you really think about it, that glowing face, it's pretty profound.
It is. There's something so mysterious and captivating about it.
And what's really interesting is that Moses doesn't even realize it's happening.
Right. It's the other Israelites who are freaking out. They're like, oh, Moses, why is your face glowing?
And he's just clueless.
Yeah.
It adds this whole other layer to the story. Like this transformation is happening on a level he doesn't even understand.
It suggests that true transformation isn't always something we're aware of. It can happen subtly, almost imperceptibly.
Like it's working on us from the inside out.
Exactly. And we might not even recognize it until someone else points it out to us.
So, okay, we know that glowing face is symbolic. But what do you think it symbolizes? What's the deeper meaning here?
Well, on a literal level, it's a physical manifestation of Moses' encounter with the divine. He's been in God's presence for 40 days and nights, receiving these profound laws and instructions.
So it's like a visual representation of that experience, the knowledge and understanding he's gained.
Exactly. It's about being illuminated, both figuratively and literally. But it goes beyond just acquiring knowledge.
It's about a deeper change, a transformation of his very being.
Right. It suggests that encountering the divine, experiencing something truly awe-inspiring, can change us on a fundamental level.
It makes me think about those aha moments we all have when something suddenly clicks and you see the world in a new way.
Yes, it can feel like a light bulb going off in your head. And maybe in a sense, that's not too far off from what Moses is experiencing.
It's like a burst of enlightenment.
Yeah.
A sudden shift in perspective.
Exactly. And that newfound understanding can radiate outwards, affecting not just ourselves, but also those around us.
And the fact that Moses is unaware of his own glowing face, that's significant too, don't you think?
Absolutely. It suggests that true transformation isn't about seeking attention or recognition.
It's not about showing off.
Right. It's about embodying that change, letting it flow naturally, without even being conscious of it.
Like a quiet confidence, a radiance that comes from within.
And it ties back to that idea of leadership we were discussing earlier. Moses isn't just a lawgiver. He's become a living embodiment of the divine light, inspiring those around him simply by being who he is.
So we've got knowledge transformation leadership, all wrapped up in this one striking visual.
It's amazing how much depth and meaning can be packed into a single image.
And there's also an element of mystery here.
Right.
We can analyze the symbolism, but ultimately, there's something about that glowing face that defies easy explanation.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that there are forces at work in the universe that are beyond our full comprehension. We can glimpse them, we can experience their effects, but we may never fully grasp their nature.
It's like a little wink from the universe saying, there's always more to discover, keep searching.
Exactly. And that sense of wonder, that sense of mystery is what keeps us exploring, keeps us questioning, keeps us striving for a deeper understanding.
Well said. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into this children's story of Moses and the Ten Commandments, I'm left with a sense of awe, not just at the story itself, but at how much there is to unpack beneath the surface.
It's a reminder that even the most familiar narratives can hold hidden depths and spark new insights if we're willing to look closely and ask the right questions.
And who knows? Maybe we'll even find ourselves glowing a little bit in the process.
Maybe we already are, and just haven't noticed yet.
I like that. Until next time, fellow deep divers, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that sense of wonder alive.